it was a combat zone, and we would get indirect fire, as I'm sure you've heard about before, very frequently. But I trusted those that were on the front line, those combat professionals, and those security forces personnel to keep us safe. And so I spent a lot of time moving around, keeping track of everyone, and doing my part to make sure that people were staying safe. And when we did have those instances, that we were rapidly providing assistance to their families. But I will tell you, I think for me, the biggest thing that I realized was when I came back from deployment. So I came back from Iraq, and this was May of 2008. So it's been a long time ago. And I was in the Baltimore airport, and I had just come back after flying for I don't know how many hours or how many days. And I had all my gear with me. And I got on an airport shuttle, and these two individuals just looked at me. And they just kind of looked at me with this expression on their face. And I realized at that point that so many people had no idea what was happening over in that country. They were living their lives, just going about their business every day. And at first I was a little frustrated about that, but then I stopped and I said, you know what? That's the definition of freedom. To me, people are able to live their lives knowing that there are other people that have made the decision to serve their country. And while they're not directly impacted by what was happening in the country of Iraq, there were people that were doing their part to maintain those freedoms for Americans that are founded in the Constitution. And so it was a very, I was in Baghdad once, and it was prayer time, and the prayers came over the loudspeaker. And it was really interesting to me to be sitting in Baghdad at that time of day, and to just observe a moment of peace almost, and silence, and a respect for that culture. And so to me, that was very interesting, because I think about in the United States, we don't have that. So to be able to be in that country at that time and experience it, it was something I never expected, and it really had a profound impact on my life. And it really taught me that sometimes it's okay to just slow down. It's okay to just slow down and stop and take a moment. So
beautiful. That brings tears to my eyes. Because sometimes you don't value the life you're living and freedom you're experiencing.
That's right.
And then you meet somebody because of who you are, enjoying all that.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy, do you have any question?
Yeah, I also played softball. I was like the fastest pitcher on the Eastern Coast. I played semi-professional. I was a switch hitter. But did you play slow pitch or fast pitch? And what position did you master?
Yeah, so it's interesting, right? So so I started out slow pitch, but as I was going through high school, little league, and so forth, softball that's when it really transitioned to fast pitch. And so as a young person, I played infield and third base. I pitched. I played first base, and then when I went to college, I played outfield. And then I actually got to play softball for the Air Force when I was a young lieutenant. And so the services have a sports program. More so back in the early part of 2000, it was really big. The Air Force still has it today, but after many, many years of conflict and folks being deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq and other places, it's not as prevalent as it once was. But when I was a young lieutenant, I was stationed overseas, and I got to travel to Europe and play softball, represent my base. I was at RAF Mildenhall in the UK, and we actually won the all United States Air Forces in Europe tournament one year. Yeah, and it was great because we played teams from Turkey and Italy and Germany, and we got to play against our Army counterparts, and it was great because it was a passion of mine that I got to experience and combine with my service in the military, and then I played. A lot of units have softball teams, and I played them over the years, but.
So they were fast pitch or slow pitch, these tournaments?
They were slow pitch when I was playing overseas. Yeah.
But in America, you